G'day folks, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3, and welcome back to the catacombs. Catacombs? Maybe the trials underneath Worm's Rock. We are in the dragon's sanctum. We have met the dragon already, got our asses whooped and handed back to us. And yeah, making a few changes this time around to see if we can win this fight this time. So I'll just run through you guys the changes that I've made. It's not, you know, super crazy or anything like that, but perhaps maybe it might get us over the finishing line. So with Blue, I've got him, I guess, with all of the potions that we normally carry. So I decided to just split quite a few of these potions up. So if you take a look at Will, for instance, he's got a few oils here that he'll be able to use. But most importantly, I've given potions of speed to Shadowheart and to Karlach. Now, this is a bit of a risky endeavor because it only gives you that additional speed boost for 3 turns. And then after that, you're going to be lethargic. And then lethargic, I think, lasts at least 1 turn before we'll be able to recover from that. So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Perhaps maybe the timing of using Potion of Speed needs to be considered here as well. Maybe we don't want to go into Potion of Speed immediately. So I feel like maybe the timing has to be after some of the other smaller enemies are defeated. We'll all take Potions of Speed, and then we should be able to deal heaps of DPS to that dragon, particularly while it's sort of going through its charging phase. So that's the plan anyway. Another notable difference with Karlach is I've switched back to the halberd, just because the halberd results in just that extra little bit of damage there compared to the Dancing Breeze. And in the fight that we had in the previous episode, I found that we didn't really use Whirlwind attack because we couldn't get multiple enemies in it anyway. So I think having the halberd is probably a good idea, just for consistently higher damage. And yeah, I'm just trying to think here. I could go in with Elixir of Bloodlust on Karlach. I don't know if now's a good time for it, or if I should do it later. I think this lasts until long rest, right? So if I'm gonna use it anytime, it should be now for this battle. But then there's the matter of, do I need to save this sort of stuff for other fights? So, but again, I have a tendency of hoarding stuff, so I think maybe I should just drink this and give Karlach rather, the additional hit points, which is not really, you know, the biggest thing that we want from it, but she gets an additional action, I think, from that. So once per turn, when it kills an enemy, it gains 5 temporary hit points and an action. Okay, right. So, my bad. So every time you kill an enemy, you'll get an additional action. So I don't know if that was the best move, but perhaps what we could do is we could try and focus down one of the smaller enemies, kill it, and then use that extra action for a bit of damage on the dragon. Maybe. So yeah. Let's jump in here, and obviously because we've had the conversation with the dragon already, we're going to skip through that and just begin the fight in earnest.
The Great Worm is nothing but bone and memories.
The dragon's the next word.
I am Ansel. Ansel Facey. Why have you come?
Baldur. No, I don't believe it.
We unfriend. Have you? That is you, and now you bring your thrall. Then I am the heart. This.
Okay, here we go. So, the issue that we had in the previous attempt was also the fact that I was using blue from a range, and I feel like that's not the best thing to do. We probably should be getting melee attacks in with blue. I suppose we could use blue to try and whittle down the enemy forces here, because they do have lightning vulnerability, this one for instance. So... what about this one? Not lightning vulnerability, but it does take just normal amounts of damage from lightning. So I think blue could be a good option just for dealing with the Mermons. So yeah, alright. Despite my initial thought of doing melee on the dragon immediately, I think I'm going to pull out of this sticky situation and immediately position myself to do some attacks on the Mermond. And yeah, this is going to take our bonus action, unfortunately, but that's okay. Okay. Let's do it. War God's Blessing. Yeah. Bit of damage there. And I've just made some electrified steam there. I don't know how I feel about that, because we might need to move in that position to cower away from the blast. Anyway, let's move blue up that way.
The victor's path.
Will...
favors the fearless.
I think it's fair for Will to immediately use something like Melody. Oh, come to think of it, I was relying on haste being available for Will. I didn't give him a potion. Can I actually transfer a potion right now? I think I should be able to without having to expend an action or anything. So yeah, I probably don't even need to give people all of the potions separately. Everyone can just take from the one stash, apparently. Okay, so I think Melody is in order immediately, so we do Sing. Yep, and we want Will in the thick of it. We'll probably just do a pummel strike here. I don't understand why he needs to go all the way around. Okay. Popped mental fatigue on there, which is decent. Two damage, which is nothing, but anyway. Shadow Heart. So we'll definitely do Spirit Guardians. We only have the one level 3 spell slot remaining. I might use Glyph of Warding as much as possible. Yeah, we definitely want to try and get in close. So why do we always get 0 though? That was a problem in the previous attempt as well. I think, is it because he's got, like, quite a high, like, bar to overcome in terms of the dice roll? So I feel like he's succeeding checks all the time to negate the damage. I don't see anything that says that he's immune or he's resistant to it. Do I do spiritual weapon? I think I could. And it might pay to get spiritual weapon in pretty early. Try to get it like somewhere there, maybe. I am just a little concerned that we're running out of spell slots, obviously. But Karlak. I sort of want Karlak to be ready in a position where we can take on the Mermons, but the Mermons are going to teleport around, so I suppose maybe I should worry about them when they actually do show themselves sort of in the center area. Okay, so let's take our attacks here.
What's it gonna take?
Oh my god, is that that's an attack of opportunity, isn't it? That completely took us out, and that's taken Ursa out as well. Oh my god, that is so punishing. I didn't even see the red arrow, but I guess maybe it was sort of hidden behind the head there. Okay, well,
the only way out
this is not a great start.
Forever dauntless.
Sharp. Good, so I won't be able to attack blue. Now the concern that I have is moving blue, because he might actually fall prone because of all of that ice. Okay. And again, our sword is out of position. I feel like maybe we shouldn't spawn a great sword or spawn a spiritual weapon at all, because I feel like it's a bit of a waste. Alright, let's take a couple of our attacks here. Try to whittle that guy down. And yeah, I'm gonna push blue back here. I'm crossing my fingers he doesn't fall prone. Okay, good.
On the victor's
Will? Well, with the dragon all the way in this position, I could attack it, although it does provoke an attack of opportunity, apparently. So that's probably not ideal. I think we're going to want to take these attacks here. Although I'm almost feeling like I could do a fireball on Ansher. So I've got 4 spell slots only to figure out what I want to do with. So necrotic is out of the question. cold damage, fire damage could probably do the trick. We've got shatter as well. I'm thinking fireball is a decent idea. It does say 20% chance to hit, but we have had quite a bit of success with this in the past. Resistance to fire or cold damage. This could be a decent thing to negate some of the damage from these mermons. Does consume our action though. Let me actually start with Karlach and maybe even Shadowheart. Divine Strike. Ooh, okay, that's good. So I'll be able to hopefully get Karlach in there. She's a little far, but... And then do I want to... Yeah, I guess I can move her up a little bit more. Will.
No holding back.
Gods, it's hot in here.
I might be able to get close enough to do an attack. Let's see. Will.
The blade will not bend.
Let's do fireball. Okay. 12 damage. That's not really that much, is it? Move Will in this general position here. And then Karlach. Karlach, I really, really want to be able to get her in there. There's just no guarantee that in this position we'll be able to reach the dragon though. But we'll give it a go. Oh, yes, we can. Alright, so let's take our 2 attacks here. Ooh, nice crit. Another. Very good. Okay.
Ready.
So, pretty happy with that.
Favors the fearless.
Let's cook with fire, baby.
Come on, can't stay idle.
This is my time.
My faith will protect me.
Oh man, I thought it was gonna take like an attack on our greatsword. That would have been really good if that happened because our greatsword hasn't really done anything here. Absorb elements. Okay, so let's move position once more. Blue is still going to focus on taking down the mermons.
shouldn't have made me your enemy.
Oh, damn. Alright. Let's just move slightly to this position.
Need to act fast.
Okay, so I think she lost her concentration on Spirit Guardians, which is not ideal. Do I put it back on? I think so. Level 4 version. And look, I could probably move Shadowheart
Got to press on.
towards the dragon and deal some damage that way. Alright. I don't really want to use any more spell slots, to be honest, so if there's anything I can do right now, that is to heal myself. So let's just do a normal potion of healing for now. We get blessed from that as well, which is good.
Let's go.
Karlak. We want Karlak dealing with the Mermond,
Forever Dawnless.
or do we want Will to do that? This seems like a decent idea here. Cone of Cold, up to 64 damage. We can get both of them in. $16 damage. That was actually quite decent on the Mermond. Like 45 damage or something like that. So that was pretty good.
Oh my word.
Karlak, can you finish it off? I hope so.
The hammer's gonna...
Oh no. One more. Good. Let's jump in there for a bonus action here. Frenzied Strike. Sure. Oh no. Okay. Problematic. Distracting Strike. Good. Another attack. I suppose with Distracting Strike, is that something that I should really be using at the very end? It doesn't say that you would take off Distracted as soon as you do some damage to an enemy, but maybe it only counts for the first attack or the first incoming attack to the creature. Yeah, I guess that's what it means there when it says on their next attack roll. The Distractor's allies have advantage. Right, so basically any new incoming attack on the creature has advantage just for that next attack, but then after that the distracted status effect disappears. Okay. There's just so many layers and so many intricacies to learn. Okay, so have we exhausted everything here? I could move Will in, but I don't want Will to be too close because we've seen the area attacks that the dragon can do. If anything, I should have moved Will in a little closer before getting like even Shadowheart and Karlach in there. So in the next round, that's probably when we want to start thinking about, you know, taking our potions and stuff. Finally, our greatsword has a use. Or not.
Survival is all that matters.
Oh, Lord.
No holding back.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking Spirit Guardians isn't really the right answer.
I need healing.
And Spirit Guardians is off as well. So I could use blue to get in there and do some damage. It's a little bit far to try and get there. So instead, I think what would be appropriate is for blue to do some healing for the entire party. And I think we might be able to achieve something pretty big here if we play our cards right. So I'll bring Will in that position there. And then with blue,
Best be on my way.
I'll just move him there. I'm just gonna see if I can throw... so this is up to 40. I don't know if that's warranted. Greater healing. And I think we just throw that there. Hopefully we can get all three. Yes, okay. So that was decent. Can I get a hamstring shot off?
Think you can take me on?
Damn. Okay. Back in that position.
No holding back.
Up to 60 damage. I mean, if I do Cone of Cold again, I might be able to do additional damage, although this guy seems to just be tanking a lot of that damage. I might do Flame Strike because we can basically reach a little bit further with it. Okay, decent. Is now a good time for a Potion of Speed? I don't really know, actually. I could take a potion to top up our health. If we get max, that'll be full health. I think that's probably a better option.
Got to focus.
Mass Cure Wounds, a level 5. I don't know if that's really warranted. A lot of people are not as injured as Shadowheart is. I think we might do a potion of greater healing on her. And we can cast... maybe Flame Strike? With a level 5? Would we need a level 5 on anything else, though? I don't think so. What kind of damage does Insect Plague do? I guess it's maybe just physical damage? I think all things considered, Flame Strike is probably better. Alright. What could be decent is Sanctuary on Shadowheart, although he just does AoE attacks, so it doesn't really matter, does it? She'd probably still take some damage. Let's take that healing from the potion. And I'm gonna move Shadowheart back just in this position because he's likely to fly and then maybe perch back down here, and when he does that he'll do some damage or inflict prone or whatever. Or he could fly over here, which would make things a bit problematic.
Now this is my happy place.
Harlack. So, the problem we have is just this, electrified water, which is kind of annoying. Let's move in this position. And yeah. So we can still reach. That's good. So let's take a couple of attacks. And do we put the potion on? Maybe. Let's not react. Nice crit. You know what? Let's do it. Let's take the potion now. Which means we should be able to take a few more attacks. I like it. Okay, good. So we'll leave Karlach there.
Battle favors the fearless.
I forgot to move Will. I keep forgetting to do that and make sure that he's in a position to apply the benefit of
No
Sing.
time to waste.
Like, yeah, that would have been really good. So yeah, I just need to remember to do that.
Got to concentrate.
This is my time.
Put him up.
I think we're done.
Well, so much for peace.
No holding back.
Oh lord, here we go.
Waiting storm is arisen.
Okay, so our character just said get behind cover. So, is it possible to negate damage by sitting behind some of these crystals? Possibly. This might be a good place for us to just do a quick save. And we can see what happens, essentially, if we do, you know, take some cover. I feel like this is a wasted opportunity for Karlach in particular, who's already got the potion of haste on. Perhaps what we could do is ranged attacks and then get into cover. And I can probably risk moving Karlach in for continuous attacks, because she'll get like 4, maybe 5 attacks, including Frenzied Strike.
Let's finish this.
And I don't think I'm going to do Spirit Guardians again, because that was pretty horrendous. I could do something like Glyph of Warding, for instance. Or Moonbeam, because if he decides to just stick around there, we could keep Moonbeam in that area and deal damage that way. Yeah, maybe that's not a bad play for Shadowheart. Oh my god, the damage amount is minuscule. So yeah, let's maybe get Shadowheart there in cover, and we shall see what happens. We may as well take some healing.
No holding back.
Will. I think with Will we could do... Chromatic Orb doesn't seem like a bad idea in this instance. And we can, again, hide him behind the crystals here, hopefully. That'll do the trick.
Bye forever, pal.
And... Karlach. Karlach
Nothing important is ever easy.
is going to be taking all the risks.
Despite everything.
So... with blue... I think we could do... Oh, hang on a second. So, the real issue is that he's also in a state, if I'm not mistaken, he's in a state where he's resistant to all types of damage for a couple of turns. In which case, is it even worth getting Karlach in there? So hang on, it's a couple of turns before he'll do the energy blast, right? So I think I can still get Karlach in to deal some damage. At least it's, you know, we're chipping away at it. So with blue, yeah, I mean, I'm not really going to be doing too much damage here, but at the very least we're going to chip away slightly. We may as well take these attacks. Okay, moving back, and then Karlach.
My turn.
Do not react. Okay. It's a shame. So he's not taking any reactions at the moment though, so which means we should be able to move into cover if we need to, and move back out if we still have the chance to do some more attacks. So let's end this turn.
Never a dull moment.
On the victor's path.
Can't give up. Not now.
Okay. So... what happened there? Blue managed to die. Did I not put him into cover properly? Possibly. Possibly that could have happened.
Talk to me.
And he takes the opportunity attack from like really far away. Yeah, I cannot move Shadowheart in this direction at all. That's problematic.
This is gonna feel good.
Let's get you out of the lightning at the very least.
This is my time.
I think the only thing we're going to want to do is have Will bring Blue up. That consumes an action. But I think I'm going to take Potion of Speed here, so we get to move quite a bit more. So Blue can heal himself. Let's go back in here and let's deal Booming Blade. He's no longer focusing on the melody though, so I guess it doesn't matter how we position our guys. I guess we just need to deal as much damage as possible at this point. Getting there.
I'm ready.
Shadowheart. Let's do Glyph of Fire here. Oh no, I did not mean to get Will into that, but that was a decent amount of damage though, so I'm quite happy with that. Let's just move Shadowheart out of the Ring of Death, and
I smell blood.
Blood comes easy these
just have a look at what Blue can do. So he can take a bonus action. We may as well do a bit of healing here.
Wounds are too much to bear.
Yeah, that was nowhere near enough. There are no other crystals to fall back to, though, at this stage.
On the victor's path.
So I think it's now or never.
Ready for another round?
Karlach, do your thing. Yes, please. Sure. One more. One more. And one last one. Oh, my goodness. Right.
Looking ahead.
I'm sore. I never thought I'd see him again.
So it's true. You're Baldurin.
I was. Now, I am much, much more. But it seems you are more interested in my past.
You literally founded Baldur's Gate. Of course I'm interested.
Such sentimentality. Very well. It's like I always told you. I was just like you. An adventurer who yearned for greatness. And in mortal terms, I achieved it. As captain of the Wandering Eye, I acquired enough gold to found Baldur's Gate. I stayed for a while to watch my city grow. But it was not enough. I grew restless again. The sea called to me, and I ran to her with open arms. Life at sea was not easy. Our last adventure was ruinous. My ship was destroyed, my crew lost, but my spirit was far from broken. I was determined to return in triumph once again. I heard of treasure in Moonrise. I strove to find it. What I found was an illithid colony, where I acquired a tadpole much like yours, and became a mind flayer, enthralled to the Elder Brain. It was Ansor who found me. Ansor who pulled me from the Brain's domination. Ansor who brought me home. He sought to cure me of my sickness, called on every healer he could find, nearly broke his spirit in the attempt. But he failed to understand. I wanted no healing. I was not sick.
Don't you feel bad about killing the one who saved you?
Of course I do. More so because it was Ansor. Even after he had exhausted all possibility of reversing my condition, he still clung to hope. I tried to convince him of my reality. I was on the cusp of greatness beyond my wildest dreams. But all he could see was a mind flayer. He came to me as I slept. A mercy killing in his mind. I saw the tears. I felt his grief. I had no choice but to kill him first. It was an act of self-preservation.
I'm sorry you had to go through with that.
Me too. I hope I never find myself in that situation again. While the past is beyond my influence, the present is not. It is time we move on. 2 nether stones remain in the hands of the Chosen. We must find them before we confront the Brain.
Oh my goodness. Let's immediately
Wind
rest.
back in my sails.
Just in case, you know. But I feel like maybe after all of that, maybe even a long rest is in order. Especially for Shadowheart. Alright, so tell me there was something worthwhile here. Baldurin's Giant Slayer. 3 to 13 damage. On a hit, double the damage from your strength modifier. This weapon grants you advantage on attack rolls against large, huge, or gargantuan creatures. The problem with that is we don't always fight large, huge, or gargantuan creatures, but these Steel Watchers, are they considered to be large? I think so, I can't remember now, but the doubling of the damage from the strength modifier is on its own pretty good, so maybe we should give this to someone. I'm just thinking who. The immediate answer is, in my mind, Lae'zel, since she's got the most strength. But it might not be a bad thing for Shadowheart or maybe even Karlach. Grow to a fearsome size. Your weapons deal an additional 1d6 damage, and you gain 27 temporary hit points and advantage on strength checks and saving throws. And you can do this once every short rest. That's pretty cool. Topple the Big Folk. Deal additional damage equal to your proficiency bonus. On a hit, large, huge, or gargantuan creatures take an additional 2 to 12 piercing damage. Must succeed a strength saving throw or fall prone. I mean, definitely taking that. Dear Ansher. Dear Ansher, I've said it 1,000 times and I'll say it again. There is no cure, and that's all right. I'm fine, more than fine. I'm better than I've ever been. So why torture yourself like this? Of course I know why. Remember Yal Tengri? You and I sailed together for months seeking the Great Spire, but by the time we found it, we were sick as dogs. But you never left my side, not for a moment, even though you could have simply chosen to fly. You told me there was something about experiencing it with me, through my eyes. You wanted to share in my passion for adventure. It was, you said, a privilege. The truth is, the privilege was mine. You are the greatest thing that ever happened to me, Ansher. I never had to ask you for anything, but I'm asking you now to stop. I may no longer feel my feelings, but I know yours, and yours are agony. It doesn't have to be this way. Be free, Ansher. Fly. And know that even if I'm not by your side, I will always be... Sorry, I always have been your Baldurin. Were they in love? Perhaps. Just the way it's written. Don't suppose any of these mermons have anything. Man, that was a tough fight, and, you know, I kind of regret the first attempt not realizing that there was a way to negate all of that damage by just standing behind some of those crystals. I suspect what happened to Blue in that very last, you know, blast was that he probably wasn't standing where he needed to be right behind the crystals. Yeah, so my bad guys, I didn't realize that in the previous episode. But hey, we managed to get through. And I think it was all thanks to the potions of speed that we consumed. So I just gotta keep in mind in tougher battles like these ones, it's probably a good idea for us to consume stuff like that. I'm just trying to think of what I need to prepare. I think I should get Ursa back out. I can scratch out here as well. And Longstrider. Now, let's see. Anything else we can prepare right now? Armor of Agathis? I think so. We do lose a spell slot there, but I think what I could do is just quickly get that back with the spell slot restoration. And yeah, we are looking good.
What's
Except
next?
for Shadowheart here, she doesn't really have too many more options, so perhaps maybe a long rest
Still
sometime
alive,
soon
so that's progress.
is going to be needed.
These boots have seen everything.
Whoa, look at that. Okay, we did see this in the cutscene, didn't we? The Helm of Baldurin.
The Helm of Balduran.
The worm's tempest and his roar hurtle through you. Ansur's essence still lives within the helm, instilling you with power for as long as you wear it.
Oh, okay, there's more. I thought this was the end. Let's just take a look at this thing, though. Helm of Baldurin. Baldurin's vitality. The helmet heals you 2 hit points at the beginning of every turn. Hey, that's kind of sick. I mean, especially if you have a character that stays back a lot. You can't argue against Hunter's Eye, though, because we use Hunter's Mark very often. Interestingly, this is good for Guiding Bolt as well. +1 bonus saving throws against spells. Covert critical. While obscured, the number you need to roll a critical hit while attacking is reduced by 1. I like magical durability, but I don't know about covert critical.
Is that blood? No.
I'm just wondering whether or not it might be worth switching this out to Shadowheart to make her guiding bolts a little bit more effective. I guess we don't really have to decide right away. Let's read the rest of this, though. Balduran's favor. It's like, is it Balduran? Balduran? I guess it's the latter. Balduran. Balduran's favor. You have a +1 bonus to armor class and saving throws. Yeah, that's already very good. Stun immunity. You can't be stunned. Great. Attackers can't land criticals. Oh, that's awesome. So we've had armor pieces that give us this benefit of preventing criticals from happening. None of which are being equipped by Blue right now. So I don't know. I don't know if this is worth using for Blue or if we should be giving it to someone else. +1 to armor class and saving throws.
Defender of the people.
I've got a long road ahead.
Again,
Have to
let's
keep going.
maybe not worry about it right this moment. Quick save time. Worms Rock Prison. Oh, okay, this just simply circles back around. Interesting. Alright, so I guess we are done here. We may as well go back and portal our way out, because we should be able to do that from here. So let's go to the Basilisk Gate. And I think from there we should be able to continue our adventure, right? So that's kind of where we were when we decided to do a 180 and return back to Worms Rock. Okay.
Any complaints will be
On my
handled
way.
after you turn your animals over.
So the real question from here is, where should we start? I did see a crowd over here with, like, this passed out person. Maybe that's a decent place? Or we can make our way up this way. Flaming Fist, maybe? Training ground? Oh, I almost forgot, but there's the matter of speaking to Mizora in camp as well. So we have been going to and fro in camp for quite a bit, but I didn't really see Mizora anywhere. So I'm gonna have to try and find her. Perhaps she only shows up once we've had a sleep? And if that's the case, maybe doing a long rest is something that we want to do pretty quickly. I was gonna truck on, but we may as well do that long rest. Sorry, I'm just looking around to see if I can find her anywhere. Nope, I don't see her anywhere, so I'm thinking maybe a long rest is required. So I reckon that's what we'll do first thing when we come into the next episode, guys. And then, you know, I'll have a chat with various people, have the long rest, see if Mizora shows up, and, you know, we can have a chat with her. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate that we would be getting rid of the effects of Elixir of Bloodlust, but that's okay. I'm sure we can make some more if I bloody well look at the alchemy system. Anyway, signing out here, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Drop me a like if you did. As usual, stay true. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.